Target looks pretty good, doesn't it? Time to review the DEADNUTS Outdoors shooting targets for rifle or for archery. In your opinion, I'm gonna put A, B, C, and D on the screen. Tell me, maybe between A and B, between C and D, between A and D, where would you shoot this animal? So the DEADNUTS Outdoors targets will come like this. It's very easy to set up. You take the legs, you fold them down, fold the head out, and as you can see, you already have a very high quality graphic of an elk. And then they have bear, they have antelope, they have other animals, obviously deer, and you can get what you want and you kind of build your arsenal as is. They have a kill zone section here that is replaceable, so as you start burning this thing down with a lot of arrows or bullets, if you want to shoot it, I'm going to be using my antelope DEADNUTS target for my rifle. That way when you're out there shooting on open plains, you can kind of get an idea what the animal's going to look like and train your eye for shooting a kill zone rather than a bullseye like you do for target shooting. Say a huge shout out to rebelscreed.com. They're a patriotic apparel company. If you're into patriotic apparel, go check them out. rebelscreed.com, huge supporter of not only GY6 Vids, my firearms channel, but also GY6 Outdoors, my outdoor channel. Great company, great people. Go check them out. Yeah, it's right where these vitals are at, and you have to aim further back and higher than I want to, which is kind of upsetting, but that's a good kill shot. That'll work, but that is pushing the edge of that cutout kill zone, and I don't know, it forces your brain to want to shoot further back, which you shouldn't do. Yep, perfect. I'll take that shot any day of the week. I have plenty of room up here, but I don't want to be shooting up here or back here. I want to be shooting at most, you know, in this area. I personally think that for this elk, it should be slightly further forward. Elk, your kill zone is pretty much straight up from that shoulder, right in the middle here, looking at your double lungs and your heart. But you have this, and to make it all rigid, you flip it over, and you can see you have hook and loop Velcro sections here. Now I already have these installed, but you take these sections off and you put them horizontally. I have them vertically right now for storage, put them horizontally. And what that does is it makes it rigid back here so it doesn't fold over on itself. Do the same thing back here, put it horizontally. Take this one, put it horizontally. And now your animal is rigid on the rear and front quarters. And if you want to add the antlers, which is optional, you don't have to. You have your antlers here. Line it up, push it in place. This is your stand holder, which I'll show you in a second. You take these two sections, you can see the hook and loop sections there. You add them onto that. Hook and loop section goes there. See how fast is this with me trying to explain it as well. That way, minus the kill zone, when you set this up, you now have a anatomically correct bull elk, and you're gonna put this on top of the target. And so what it does is, the way they set this up is as you attach this to the top of the target, it puts the vitals perfectly in place of where you're shooting your arrows. Now mine's a smaller target, you can have a bigger one. I'm not gonna go too far out, but if you had a bigger target, you have room for error, and if you miss, yeah, you're gonna be putting holes in the overall target. You can see it, one miss down there, I had it like 75 yards. It's permanent. It's gotta be mindful. That's why I always set it up without the kill zone in there. That way you know exactly where you should be shooting. And in this situation, I'll be about right here. So I know anything below that, I'm gonna be hitting tree or sending an arrow into God's green creation. I also don't wanna be aiming too far back here because I think this is getting into guts. If you know the anatomy of an elk, you're pretty much getting into guts if you start shooting this way. So I'd rather miss this direction, and hence that miss down here. Don't practice horrible shots, because in the field, in the heat of the moment, you're gonna go to reactionary shooting, and if you practice that, you'll be aiming here before you aim here. There, and I push it in, and that holds the target. Anatomically and graphic-wise, these targets are fantastic. You almost could use these as a decoy. It might work. Antelope definitely might work, because antelope come into a lot of objects that look like antelope. Even white paper plates resemble the female's butts, and you can get antelope bucks to come into white paper plates. I don't know if they have like a DEADNUTS Outdoors like doe antelope target that's just straight down Main Street. Kill zone. You can see from this distance, you can't see that perforated edge of the kill zone. You'll sticky target exactly where you should aim every time to start. That way your brain instantly sees that same spot every time. I like it. DEADNUTS Outdoors, you make some cool products. DEADNUTS Outdoors, go check them out. I'm done. Bye.